Nissan has given us a ton of new information about the next generation Nissan Leaf, and I am excited. The current generation Nissan Leaf is still a good vehicle. For the price, it is slowly falling behind though. It still uses CHAdeMO, a pretty antiquated powertrain, pretty slow charging. It's time the Nissan Leaf catches up with everyone else. And this is what Nissan is teasing. We have here the 2026 Nissan Leaf. Nissan showcased a new lineup of their future vehicles, one of which is the next generation Nissan Leaf. Now, this is it here. This is what it looks like. Really isn't a hatchback like the current generation Nissan Leaf or what we know the Nissan Leaf for. This is now more of a crossover, and that's what Nissan is touting it as, a crossover. It almost seems like a mini Aria, which I guess isn't a bad thing, but I think what made the Nissan Leaf so special was its hatchback design. We don't have a lot of hatchbacks anymore, but let's read into it. Reimagined as a sleek and spacious, family-friendly crossover, the third generation all-new Nissan Leaf pairs substantial improvements in aerodynamics with a more advanced EV architecture. As a first for the iconic EV nameplate, the all-new Leaf will be available with 19-inch alloy wheels and a panoramic moonroof. How surprising. Wow. 19-inch wheels and a panoramic sunroof. This is how you know the Leaf is pretty far behind, when Nissan is bragging about 19-inch alloy wheels and a panoramic moonroof. But these are pretty big features here, right? Who doesn't love moonroofs? Regardless, these are pretty big changes the Nissan Leaf is changing. For the North American market, a North American charging standard port, J3400 charging port, is also integrated, the first time for a Nissan EV, enabling convenient access to the Tesla supercharging network. It's also worth noting that while it will be J3400, the charge port is also in a place where it would be easy to pull in and get access to Tesla's version 3 Tesla superchargers. This is like a big argument that people love to have. Where is the best charge port placement? And if you want access to Tesla's supercharging network without, bullying other drivers, taking up multiple spaces, it's likely that you just want to put the charge port in a place that makes it easy. And that's going to be the driver's rear or the passenger front. And the passenger front, like the Aria, is where we'll see this NACS port on the new Nissan Leaf. The all-new Leaf sits on Nissan's modular CMF EV platform, which debuted in the Aria. Efficient energy management, streamlined packaging, and enhanced driving performance from Nissan's new 3-in-1 EV powertrain are expected to help deliver significant range improvements over the previous generation. Today's announcement provides a first glimpse at this new model, with further details to be shared mid-year. Now, what is this Nissan 3-in-1 EV powertrain? So pretty much it is a platform that includes the electric motors, the inverters, as well as the onboard DC converter. So this is just, I guess, an all-in-one package that they build out on general assembly, and then they stick their Nissan next generation Nissan Leaf on top of it. Nissan says this leads to better efficiency in the vehicle, in production as well, reduced weight and size, as well as lower production costs. Moving on, Nissan goes on to say, then from late fiscal year 2027, an all-new Nissan EV is scheduled to commence production at Nissan's Canton, Mississippi plant in the US. The all-new model will be an adventure-focused SUV. It will be joined in fiscal year 2028 by a luxury Infinity EV SUV inspired by the Vision QXE concept. And this is what the Vision QXE concept looks like. I don't like concept vehicles. If you know me, I'm not paying attention to what the concept vehicle looks like. These legacy automakers, for some reason, love to make concepts that look nothing like what an actual production vehicle would look like. They're so extravagant, they're nonsensical, and it's not worth anyone's time to even pay attention to them. But this is what I guess Infinity's inspiration will be for their Infinity EV, and this will be Infinity's first electric vehicle. They also go on to say, under the recent agreement with SK On, both of these future models will feature US manufactured batteries, supporting 1,700 jobs at SK On, and involving a total investment of $661 million, including equipment purchases. This is an addition to Nissan's $500 million investments for EV production at the Canton assembly plant. Nissan sold almost 1 million vehicles last year, which is more than the year prior. Yes, I think Nissan is having some company issues, but in terms of actual vehicle sales, it's not like they're just about to die. I think Nissan will survive just well, and I think these EVs can help do that for them as well. Now, looking at the design of the new Nissan Leaf, what do you guys think? It is pretty interesting to say the least. Again, I think it's like a mini Aria. You can see from the other vehicles that Nissan is going to have in their future, they are redesigning pretty much their entire lineup at this point. This seems to fall in line with that. It just isn't a Nissan Leaf, I guess. It isn't giving what used to be the OG Nissan Leaf. Besides the fact that it is now a crossover and not a hatchback, what we know as the Nissan Leaf is slowly going away. Now, the new Leaf is expected to come to the United States and Canada later this year. So very soon we could see this at Nissan dealers. We'll be getting a ton of new information, and I am excited. Expect a ton of videos on the Out of Spec channels about this vehicle. I am looking forward to it. It's also been said that the Nissan Leaf will have a targeted WLTP range of 373 miles, which is a lot of range. Now, it's going to have a drag coefficient of 0.26. And so the Nissan Leaf is more aerodynamic than ever before. This is going to help with efficiency, and this is going to help with increasing the range. Now, again, that is WLTP. So this isn't EPA for what we know as a more realistic real world driving range. So 373 miles, maybe expect it to be closer to like 325, 330, which isn't bad at all. That's pretty competitive today. Now, Nissan did say more details and images will be shared later this year, so expect that here on the Out of Spec Bits channel. What do you guys think? Again, this is long overdue. It's the Nissan Leaf. This is an icon. However, I feel that this new generation maybe isn't doing the Nissan Leaf as much justice. Maybe it's just these photos, maybe it's just this color, but I'm hoping that once we get more details and we see the Nissan Leaf in person, we start doing some charging tests, range tests, and you get a real world experience of what it's like to own the next generation Nissan Leaf, we'll be able to say that Nissan did good, because I think part of Nissan's future is riding on it. Now, before I go, I want to show you Nissan's EVs that you will probably never get. Yes, Nissan is unveiling more EVs for the European market. Nissan also has a ton of EVs ready for the Chinese market. If you'd like to see a video on that, let me know down in the comments below. But they're going to have the Qashqai. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Let's make sure I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Nissan Qashqai.
Qashqai. Is that right? The Nissan Qashqai, which is pretty much like Europe's Rogue. They will be launching an electric version for the European markets. They're also launching a Micra EV, which is based on the Renault R5, that hot hatchback, and it looks so cool. The Renault R5 looks cool. This looks cool as well. And we're not going to get it. Of course, Europe gets all the fun, all the good stuff. You hear it on this channel all the time. China and Europe, man, you guys, I'm jealous of you guys. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the new Nissan Leaf down in the comments below. This is a big moment. And as I said, as more information comes forward, you will see it here on the Out of Spec Bits channel. My name is Isaiah, and I will see you guys in the next one.